my kids. I am so sorry that I can't be with you this week, but it is so nice to get you back, and a little bizarre to get you back as you're about to graduate, since I remember when you were just drawing zoo teeth in room 303 and marking the pillar as your own. But I just wanted to take you through the syllabus, and take you through the packet that hopefully has been passed out to you or is in the process of being passed out to you, that has all the materials that you're going to need for the course. So let's start with the syllabus. So this is obviously the first page. You guys are all very used to what our syllabi look like, especially mine at this point. So we don't really care what the first page says. You know where my office is. You know what times our class is meeting. And I am going to be using NGrade for your grades. There won't be any grades that are inputted in this first week while I'm gone. So once I come back and hang out with you guys, then I can find out from you if you guys already have NGrade accounts, or if the course is already popping up in your NGrade or not. And then I can give you the codes and stuff like that. Okay. So you know how my syllabi go and the things that we're going to be covering each week. So I don't want to spend too much time on that. What I do want to show you, though, is if you go under the course outline under homework, see where it says read chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, and then book is in italics, or there might be handouts. In the packet of stuff that you should have just received, there are some chapters that are there for you. Those are the chapter handouts that I'm talking about. Your textbook does a pretty good job of talking about how to find a job and how to find a career, but there are some instances where some of the chapters in a different textbook do it just a little bit better. So that's why you have some supplemental handouts in addition to the readings in your textbook. If you look on the left-hand side, this is where some of the dates for your projects and tests are due. So you know how we do all this stuff. I wanted to tell you that the point of the class is to make sure that you are prepared and ready for when you graduate. Right now, you guys don't care about this, really. Right now, you guys are thinking about the boards. You're worried about the mock boards. You're worried about that kind of stuff. I'm looking at this, and I think I have the wrong document pulled up with the wrong dates. But you guys don't care about what your resume looks like right now. And you guys don't care if you have a portfolio or not. And that's completely normal, and that's okay. The idea behind what we're going to do is get all that stuff ready. So this way, there we go, the dates are updated. We're going to get all that stuff ready, so this way you can graduate from Fortis, have your pinning ceremony, go take your boards, and then as soon as you're ready to go out for job interviews, you have all of this stuff already done, already written, already on a flash drive, and you can just grab it and go to the interview. So we're going to go through a bunch of projects. There are tests in this class, and I have to give you tests because people say I have to give you tests. So your tests are going to be given every Tuesday, and they will be comprised of questions from the readings from your book, from the readings from the handouts, and each week I will be emailing you PowerPoints to help you out as well and guide you through them. Most of the things that I'm going to lecture on won't be out of the book. They'll be, PowerPoints I created on writing resumes and things like that. So you definitely need to do the readings if you want to do well on the tests. If you look, the tests, honestly, aren't worth that much in the course. 4 tests plus the final exam are worth 25% of your grade. The other 75% of your grade comes from all of these different job-related projects that you are going to create. So, The different projects that you're going to do includes a job research project, and I'm going to wait to talk about that for a minute. But in the next 5 weeks, 6 weeks together, what we're going to do is we are going to create a resume for you. We're going to create a sample cover letter. So I have a fake job that you guys are going to be responding to. You're going to create a real list of references that you're going to be able to use. And one of the biggest things is you're going to create a portfolio. So one of the lectures that you are going to be watching or listening to this week is my lecture on how to create a job portfolio. And there are a lot of components that go into the portfolio. That's why you have several weeks to work on it. But trust me, don't wait until the very end or it's not going to be pretty. Finally, and something that you may have heard from your classmates or people in front of you, is my notorious mock interviews. I will put you through a realistic, highly stressful, as professional as I can possibly make it interview. Yes, you have to wear a suit. We'll go through all that stuff. You have to answer questions properly. So this way you can see and be prepared for what a real job interview would be like. And a career interview is a lot different than a job interview. So that's why we're going to go through all that. And I'm going to prep you before we do any of this. Okay, and then after the interview is over, you will write a thank you letter to the interview panel so that you have practice doing that as well. And we'll justify why you're going to do all of these things as the next several weeks keep going. So if you notice I skipped it, but I'm going to go back to it, what I've done in the kind of the middle of your syllabus is I've made you a little calendar to show you the 6 weeks that we have together and when stuff is due. We have such a long class on Tuesdays. I don't want you to look at Tuesdays and dread that it's like a 7-hour class. What I'm going to do in this class is we're going to do a lot of workshop time. I also have extra time just in case there are any clinicians who want to come in or can come in and do board review with you. I have extra time built in so that you can work on your perio case presentations. So Tuesdays especially will not be lecture from bell to bell by any means. I do want to talk to you about weeks 5 and 6 though. Right now, tentatively, your perio presentations are either going to be in week 5 or week 6. Ms. Zano is just trying to secure a dentist at this point. So, this is all a big guess for me. I'm assuming your perio presentations might be week 6, so that your mock interviews would be week 5. If your perio presentations end up being week 5, then we will do some flip-flopping and some adjusting to these 2 weeks as we get a little closer. But like I said, I'm just still waiting for a more definite date, but this is as much as I know right now. So I have all your deadlines in your syllabus, but here they are laid out right in front of you. So if you notice, the very first thing that is due, it's next Thursday, is your research project, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Your resume will be due, so we're going to talk a lot about your resume on Tuesday, the 15th, and your reference list will be due. So this is really a class where you do need to bring your laptop, your charger, a flash drive, all the time. Because there's a lot of elements I need to be with you to help you with, like your resume and formatting it and things like that. Okay, so that was the explanation of assignments. We went through that. Here are our core goals and competencies that you have seen and seen and seen. So read those. You know my policies by now. If you act like a child, I will treat you like a child. Don't show up late. I'll mark it off. I'll lock you out. I will do other stuff that will make you not want to be late anymore. If you turn anything in late, my late policy is still the same. You lose 10 points for each day something is late, and you do lose points if you're absent the day of a test. So none of my policies have changed since the last time we hung out together. Don't share your end grade codes. Yada, yada, yada. Please, you know me, I just appreciate communication, so if something comes up, I just appreciate you letting me know before the fact as opposed to after the fact. So, if the person playing this video wants to pause it, this syllabus contract is should be the last page of your syllabus. You're more than welcome, which means you must, rip this back page off, print, sign, date it, and the person filling in for me will give this back to me. So basically, if you can say, I didn't know, I can hold this in your face and go, yes, you did. In between the classroom policies and the syllabus contract are all of the grading rubrics that I will use to grade all of the projects that I mentioned, just like I always have. So if you remember from my English classes, from my communications class, you know I always give you the rubrics ahead of time so that this way there are no surprises in how you're going to be graded. Okay, now I'll shut up so you can pause me and sign the syllabus contract before I keep going. Okay, something else that is in your packet, aside from the readings and aside from the syllabus, and I wanted to give you all of the readings at the beginning of the course, so if you wanted to read ahead, you're welcome to. You're probably all laughing as well as I say that, because you know I always say it's the teacher's hope, but it's not the student's reality, but, you know, just in case, you have it all. But this worksheet is also in your packet, and the attachment should also be in your email as well. This is the job research project. So, one of the biggest issues with dental hygiene and with finding a job at all is networking and finding different jobs. So the first couple chapters of your book talk about this hidden job network, which basically means that it's how you find a job without seeing blatant classified ads. And in dental hygiene, a lot of job openings are learned about through word of mouth. So, this worksheet is 3 pages long, and this is what you're going to complete and you're going to turn in as your research project. You need to find 5 places where you potentially want to work. Hopefully they would be, you know, dental places and not like super dads or something. I wonder if the sub's rolling their eyes. Sorry. Anyway, so you have the choice. You can either make photocopies of the one that is in your packet, or you may do this digitally. You may, when this is due on, please hold, I believe the Thursday I come back with you. Yes, it's due on the 17th, which would be next Thursday. So you have the choice of either emailing these to me, or you may hand them in to me physically. Doesn't matter, but they're due at the start of the class. Basically, you need to find 5 places where you potentially want to work, and you need to fill out this worksheet. That's it. So these are the first 2 pages, and the second page are your pro and con list. I gave you 15 spots. In no way do you need to fill all of those spots, but this is just for you to think of what from this place are considered advantages and what are disadvantages to this job. And then you have to rank the job with 1 being the least appealing and 10 being the most appealing. And you cannot duplicate ranks. So you can't have all 5 places be 1s. But I've had some students who have gotten job interviews because of the contact that they've made because of this worksheet. I've had other students who send thank you letters or thank you cards to the people that they speak with to help them with these worksheets, and they end up making a really great job connection. I do have to tell you that people will probably be apprehensive to help you, so your approach should be to call them and ask them when a good time is to speak with them. It might take about 5 to 10 minutes of their time. If you call them and you just start launching into these questions, especially if it's at a busy time in their office, they might start getting pretty cranky with you. The first page basically are things for you to consider that sometimes people don't consider until it happens to them. So this first question is, why would you want to work at this business? And how far of a drive is it? How many miles? So, if you had to travel 50 miles one way, and it's not highway, then it might take about a little bit more than an hour to get there. So that means my total commute time, which is question number 3, is going to be 100 miles, which is a little bit more than 2 hours. So that would mean the difference between, leaving the house at 7 or leaving the house at 8. And when you have to make that commute constantly and the gas mileage and oil changes start to add up, it gets a little aggravating. It can. Another thing to consider is, does the business have employee parking? And I know that this sounds silly, but when I was a reporter at the Times, I was making a decent salary, but I had to drive across my entire coverage area, so that was the gas and mileage and stuff on my car, but I also had to pay for parking. So I either had to feed the meters, or I had to park in a parking garage that was $12 a day. So when I work 5 days a week, that's $60 a week. So that really reduces your salary. And I didn't get compensated for that stuff. So in my case, the Scranton Times did not have employee parking. If not, I could have parked at meters, or I could have parked in a parking garage. Is parking free? It definitely was not for me. So if it's not, how much would it be? Because these are expenses to consider that sometimes you don't consider until you've already taken the job and it's a little too late, which I'm say from experience. And then this bottom part is about any openings. The second page is what you might have some difficulty with. And this is why I have at the beginning of the worksheet that you want to talk to the human resource person as opposed to a secretary, because a human resource person would be able to answer questions 9 through 12 better than possibly a secretary would. Because sometimes a secretary just wouldn't know, because the benefits would be different between a secretary and a hygienist, and the salary would be different. So you definitely might get blocked on questions 11 and 12, but do your best. Sometimes they would say, the salary is negotiable, the salary depends, I won't tell you that information, but they can at least disclose whether it's a paid or unpaid lunch and for how many minutes. And the reason why I'm asking you to ask that is because, if you have to work an 8-hour day, but you have to take a 30-minute lunch and you don't get paid for it, then really that means you're working an 8.5-hour day. It doesn't mean you work 7.5 hours and the lunch is the other half hour. So sometimes that can also make a difference, especially if you have a far commute to the place you potentially want to work. 13 asks you about uniform policy. And 14, you can describe based on your experience on the phone. Was the person nice? If you think way back when we talked about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and we talk about patience and things like that, you know, that first impression when you first call someplace makes a big impression. So if you call them and they're jerks, if they're jerks to strangers, do you want to work there? That might be something on your con list. So you need to fill out this worksheet for 5 different places. That's your research project. That's it. Blanks will be marked wrong, so you need to fill in everything that you can. Okay, so that's the research project. The other thing, the final thing that I want to show you, is just as a way to help you out. So obviously you're watching this through video, and you're watching this through a YouTube link. But I also wanted to show you, I wanted to go to YouTube. I actually have a YouTube channel, and I want to log out so you can find me. So if you go to YouTube and you search my name, hopefully you will be able to find me. There I am. Please don't say, oh, is that your wedding picture? Yes, that's why I'm in a wedding dress. And please don't go, oh, is that your husband? Yes, that's why he's the one in the tuxedo. But anyway, if you click on my channel, or if you subscribe to my channel, what you'll be able to see, now I have recorded a lot of videos for different classes, so a lot of the things that are on here might not apply to you. Like PNR 207, that's a nursing class. That has nothing to do with you guys. Final research papers, you've already lived through that. But making a portfolio, that's what you guys are going to be watching this week. Every lecture we're going to go through together is also on here, so you have it as backup. So here's the lecture on resumes. Here's the one on job references, and you guys know YouTube. Right down here in the corner, it tells you how long it is, and it's basically me going through the PowerPoints with you. Here's thank you letters. Here are cover letters. Some suggestions on punctuating addresses, which seems silly, but we'll talk about that. Doing interviews is here as well. And then, oh, these are definitely not my videos, but that I've created. Oh yeah, yoga stuff. Okay, but at least you can go to my channel and you can have access to these videos at any point in time that you want. And hey, at least on video you get to pause me and stop me, and you don't have to just pretend to stay awake. So if you subscribe to the channel, it's easier to find me. Okay, I went through the syllabus, I went through the worksheets, went through the readings. The projects are the things that are really important in this class. You'll notice that the class is a little bit more laid back than my other classes in the past have been, because I get to have more fun in this class. I don't have to set you up to survive through clinic. You've already done that. So we get to have a little bit more fun here. And please don't be intimidated by the schedule. We will definitely take breaks and all that kind of stuff. But the goal is that I am here to guide you through all this, to answer questions that you have about finding jobs, about writing resumes, about all that kind of stuff. So I'm here to help. And like I said, your perio presentation will either be on the Tuesday of week 5 or week 6. For your mock interviews, I do want to let you know, I put them on a Tuesday, and I will have, once I find out the definite date of the perio presentation, I will put a sign-up sheet on my door for you to sign up for a time to come in for the mock interview. You will come in for the mock interview, you will do the interview, and you will go home, and that will count as your full day's attendance. That's why I put it on a Tuesday instead of Thursday, because on Thursday you guys have clinic anyway. All of these are things that we can go into more detail about when I come back. In this first week, Do I still have it up? Oh, yes, I do. In this first week, it is really important that you watch the video on making a portfolio, and whether that is done in class or whether that's done on your own, that is going to be absolutely imperative. I am not going to go over this video with you again because it's already done. And you notice that your references are due the second week, so they're due the week I come back. You need to also watch this video as well. This job references video will talk you through how to ask people to be your reference. So the thing that you're going to be turning in on the 18th is not going to be the letters of recommendation, but just the people's names and their contact information. And I give you samples at the end of this PowerPoint of how to go about doing that. Sometimes students don't think that I can be listed on their references. I can be, you just have to go about asking me the right way. So just keep in mind your portfolios are going to be due the 4th week. It sounds like it's far away, but you guys all know it comes way faster than you ever expect it to. So after you listen to the portfolio lecture, it's going to be important to start digging through your flash drive to find things to go in it. So I hope this helps. I miss you guys. I'm sure you don't miss me. You are not disappointed that I am not there with you, but I am, and I can't wait to come back and hang out with you guys. So enjoy the first week. Please feel free to email me any questions. I don't know how often I'll be checking my email, but I can, at least get back to you at some point. But I will see you soon. Bye.